J's. I'm Turquoise. It's my mother Janice and my sister Janice. And boy, we got a lot to discuss this week. Our topics are a Detroit teen suspended for cutting hair in the school bathroom. Of course, the Michigan school shooting. Clarence Avant, his wife's murder, and he's now suspect. Custody battle turns deadly for a Texas man. A woman who received a GoFundMe donation is going back to her boyfriend after domestic violence. The Verzuz with Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia, and much more. All right, so let's get started. I think we should start off with the Michigan school shooting.
Oh yeah.
So the young man who is I hate to bring race into it, but a white teenager. His parents had purchased a gun. Well, it was only like a few days before he took it to school, I think it was, and he ended up taking the gun to school and doing a mass school shooting. He was charged with, what was it? How many kids was injured?
It was 4 kids passed and 7 people were injured.
And he's been charged with murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then his parents have been charged with manslaughter.
Because there's text conversations of them like talking to him. They knew he was dangerous, and
then they tried to lie. First of all, they had no idea what was going on.
There was evidence of it. That's why they got.
And then they went on the run like they was Bonnie and Clyde or B&J.
They left. they ran away. They was on the run for a while, but they got caught. I think I just heard.
I think just like yesterday or early this morning they were caught.
But that's crazy as hell. It's like gun-obsessed families, and the gun was legal, and he felt slighted at school, and just the fact that this is something that people just it's so common, and people brush it off like it's no big deal. Yet right now they're worried about Supreme Court banning abortions. Y'all literally letting kids get killed in school with guns, but y'all want to talk about a life as far as abortion. It's the weird. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone.
And then they worry about a young man just cutting people hair and cutting his classmates hair in the school bathroom. He got suspended for it.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything wrong, but here's this gentleman that clearly needed a fucking therapist going around killing kids. Mm-hmm. What's worse, killing your classmates
or giving them free haircuts in the bathroom?
Look fresh, you know.
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of which, that kid who got suspended from school from doing that, a local barber, loved his story, and he's got an internship to become a licensed barber. So it was a blessing in disguise.
What are your thoughts about the mass school shooting?
I believe that a lot of kids get bullied, and then nobody, they protect the bullies, and then people come up there and start shooting. That's what I believe the kids do. But I don't know what his problem was.
It could have been a bullying situation. That's a lot of the times that has something to do with it, or some kind of social anxiety or some stuff like that. But regardless, too, like, that's the part of life I wouldn't
buy them a gun to go, and if I knew they had mental issues.
I don't get why guns are always the resolution.
Yeah, then there's our alternative. Like, my daughter was being bullied, and I took her out of school. First, I tried to work with the school and talk to them about the bullying, and they didn't do anything, so she became homeschooled.
Yeah.
But I don't condone violence. Just like we were talking about the young African American boy that shot at his classmate.
Yeah, for saying that he was bullied. I heard that was actually debunked, that he wasn't being bullied. He was up there trying to play gangster.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that pushed a crush on what I was about to say. So, at least with him, he aimed at his target.
But he didn't hit his target. Yeah. He had everybody surrounding his target.
But this young man, literally, when there's video of him going to knocking on the doors to different classrooms trying to get kids to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, social media, kids was filming and putting it on social media.
They all have cameras.
And it was he knocking. He's like, I'm a police officer. I'm trying to help. And then he called the young man. I was like, I don't want to open the door. He was like, hey, bro, open the door. And they immediately hopped out like the school window and then ran around the school to where the police officers were. Yeah, it's like, don't officer call or refer to a kid as bro. So that's how they knew it wasn't really a police officer. It was really him trying to get them to let him in.
And
So,
I heard he was uncooperative and unremorseful. He did not care.
I heard that.
apparently his parents didn't care either.
They
was
fled.
on
They
the
They
run.
don't
fled.
care when
They
they be sitting in
fled.
jail.
Well, they caught now.
Yeah.
But I think it's about time. I think they should start charging parents when their kids go to schools. It should maybe then they'll start changing the laws and make it worse or harder for them to be able to get their hands on a gun to go to school, because that was just ridiculous. They knew exactly what their son was up to. They did, and they encouraged him because there was a text message of his dad. His dad sent him. He said, "Whatever you do, don't get caught," which means he knew he was gonna do something.
No, Lord. Take your kids out of school. It's best to homeschool them. Hey, I ain't with the shits. Because if that was my daughter and my nephew, of course, in school, we have a niece in school, I definitely wouldn't want them to be put in harm's way.
Right.
Like, that would really, really eat at my soul. And
I would snap. I would snap if something happened to one of my babies.
Yeah.
My nieces, my nephews, and my son. If anything happened to any of my babies, I would snap.
Now, if they call me, I'll go.
Yeah, I would be busy bone that day.
Call me, and if something going on at school, don't get on social media, call me, and I'll be right up there.
Right. I'm with the shits.
Yes. And speaking of the young man who was cutting hair in the school bathroom and ended up being suspended, I feel like, especially when you're in 11th grade and 12th grade, it should be a mandatory class
for skill, some kind of a
trade.
skill.
Instead of having to go to like a trade school once you graduate, they should incorporate that into
Absolutely, I agree with that.
When you're a junior and senior.
I also think they should teach, how to
Really
manage finances and credit and stuff like that. That should be a high school class. I feel.
Instead of that stupid stuff, history
Like,
stuff that they know
they don't need to know. Like, why the hell do they need to know that Columbus discovered America and he didn't?
Right. That's what I meant. Stuff ain't true. And then gym classes when
got them measuring how big they are and stuff. I'm like, put
stuff
that
like
energy
that.
into other stuff.
Different things.
So unnecessary. But yeah, I definitely think that they should incorporate like cosmetology, engineering, things like that in high school. And I also feel like college should be free.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they should teach like how to do taxes in high school.
Absolutely. How come something they teach in school we don't even use in the
world? What the fuck do I need to know algebra for? What the hell for?
I mean, unless you go be a goddamn.
I'm not no architect or I don't need to know geometry. I don't need to know. I'm not building a house. I hire people for that,
I have my phone on silent. All right. Any final thoughts on those topics?
No, I wish the young man well, with the haircuts, because that was we need more stories like that. Like, instead of hearing about kids shooting up schools, like for to see other kids helping other kids, like he was helping them boys.
Got praised and got a certain time to do that for us.
That they should have made a program. They should have created a program for him to be able to do that.
Let him take like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Let him come into school, early. Let him come to school early, like any kids that needed a haircut.
You can use
y'all have like clothes donations and shit like that. Why not have like grooming, help?
Because that make a kid feel better when they,
especially with boys when they want to have their haircut.
A lot of young people that know how to do hair and things like that. So I used to do my own.
That reminds me of the story of the teacher. It was a black teacher. It was a little black girl. Her hair, she had ponytails that were like super matted and rough, and she like took time out of her day to braid the little girl hair for her during class, and like because the little girl like was being made fun of by the other kids, and so she like pulled her aside and did her hair.
Yeah.
So we need more stories like that.
Definitely.
Okay, moving along. Custody battle turns deadly in Texas for a Texas man.
That story is so sad.
So, from my understanding, a father went to his ex-wives or ex-girlfriends. I don't know if it was her home.
His baby mama. We know that she's the mother of his child.
Or a friend of hers home.
Her boyfriend or something.
But they kept saying the child wasn't there, and then unfortunately it turned deadly. He has another wife or another girlfriend, and during this time she was just filming, and he ended up being killed, and it was on basically social media. For me personally, one, not saying that the person is right in what they did, because they definitely did not have to shoot and kill the man. But once I was told, or once I was informed that the child wasn't there, I would have left. I would not have stood out there arguing or anything, especially on someone else's property. You don't know what they're capable of doing. And then the wife of the victim was filming. She should have called 911 and then start filming the incident. Something, it could have definitely had a different outcome. I think when people are in the heat of the moment, they don't really have time to think. But I would not have stood there arguing, especially after time went on. Like, no, I'm just going to leave, and my kid isn't here. Oh, all right, I'll take it up with the courts.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
What are your thoughts about that, Mom?
I agree.
Well, my thing with this story, like, had me conflicted for a lot of reasons. One, yeah, like you've always told us, don't go to nobody's house acting a fool, because they can legally kill you if you on their property acting a fool. So I've always kept that in my head. So I understand the man did have a right to shoot him. He did give him warnings. He did grab his gun. So, and the man has not been arrested. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But what bothers me the most about this story is watching that video. Everything was so calm. Everything was so calm. It wasn't like they were fist fighting. It wasn't like everything was calm. The man just wanted to see his son. And granted, he was not there, is what they were saying. But he's like, he's supposed to be with me. This is a dad that has a time that he's supposed to have his kid. And he's there trying to get his kid for the time he's supposed to have his kid.
F this, I'll take it up.
I get he should have, but sometimes cooler heads or whatever, and I get that's wrong. He shouldn't have, just like it's wrong for him to grab his gun. That's why he hasn't been arrested, because legally he had the right to shoot him. But what bothers me about it is nobody thought about this child. Nobody thought about this child. This child is now having to live with a man that killed his father because he wanted to see him. Imagine the trauma that child is going to go through, because y'all so petty that y'all can't settle a little dispute, a little argument. You had to go get a gun. You felt I feel like this country is obsessed with guns. That did not warrant for that man to go get a gun and shoot that man. It did not warrant it. And now a child is fatherless and more than likely is living with the person that killed his father.
Yeah.
And the stepmother is fighting for custody. And I actually heard that the kid is very upset and doesn't want to deal with the guy that shot his dad.
I definitely would have left. I would not have stood there arguing. Even if it was calm, okay, you say the kid isn't here, I would have called 911 and say, hey, I have a court order for visitation.
It might have been a little bit better if he wanted to stand there and argue. He should have stepped off his property.
Like went to the street.
But he still probably would have killed him.
But he would have been.
But he would have been in the street.
Yeah,
he would have been
true.
arrested because he wasn't on his property once he got in the street.
Maybe the guy didn't believe them. Maybe
I'm thinking that he's like. I think he's thinking in his head, I just want to see my son. He's like, this ain't even about you or her. Where is my kid? Give me my kid. And he's fighting for his kid. He's not thinking, oh, one of them could potentially kill me. That's why he was so, when you better use it. When he brought out the gun and he grabbed the gun, because he's like, ain't no way you're going to shoot me. We were talking about me just getting my son.
Especially in that aspect, I definitely would have left. After he came out with the gun,
the dad, what he did was stupid. This is why I said I'm conflicted, because legally, he had a right to shoot him. Legally, from what happened in the video, he grabbed his gun and he was on his property. Legally, he had a right to shoot him, but I felt like it didn't have to go that far. Like, you didn't have to choose to shoot him. Mm-hmm. You could have easily let that go. I get that, but still, when you say people crazy, it's like the situation was so calm. These are clearly people that know right from wrong. You know what I mean? Like, these are clearly people that know right from wrong. Why did you immediately go there? It's almost like you just wanted him gone so that you didn't have to worry about him wanting to see his kid anymore. Yeah. Like, remember that movie with Sissy Spacek when her son was dating a woman that had kids and her husband kept beating him up and shit and then eventually killed him? What was the name of that movie? It was something in the bedroom or something like that.
Burn in Bed. But that was a fair.
No, not Burn in Bed. The movie where Sissy Spacek's son her and her husband's son was in college, and he was dating an older woman who had kids who had just got divorced. Her ex-husband still wanted to be with her, but she was with him. And so he would like find him and beat him up, and then eventually he came over and was fighting with her, and the boy tried to stop him. She went upstairs and he shot and killed the little boy, the teenager, in the head. You know, remember how he got away with it, and how the movie is basically about Sissy Spacek and the dad. They formed a plan to get the man and kill him because he got away with killing their son. Y'all remember that? Well, y'all gotta watch that, because it's like that. That was just so unnecessary. Like, why did you have to do that? Like, there's so many ways you could have ignored that man. He could have ignored that man and let him rant and rave all he wanted to. So what? He was on his property.
And then that's why, too, a lot of custody situations, they have you meet in a public place. Although his property, of course, was a public area because he has neighbors. But like a McDonald's or a gas station, sometimes they have mediators meet with you.
Yeah, they definitely needed a mediator for it to go down like that.
And then especially if the gentleman, again, not saying he was right, but if he comes out with the gun, he's like, you better use it.
That I'm saying he was warranted to shoot him. Yeah. He was warranted to shoot him. That's why I say I'm conflicted, because I feel like he was wrong, but he was justified.
So you think that you're gonna get your kid by saying you better use it, and now you don't get to see your kid.
Everybody, I feel, made stupid decisions that day. I just felt like everything, all of that could have been avoided.
The thing about it is the guy that killed him got away. That's sad.
And then the kid has to know this man. Mm-hmm. That's what's really sad.
But we all know who the final judge is.
Mm-hmm. It don't make it any less painful to
deal
with the officer.
I'm not saying it's going to make it any less painful. I'm saying
justice will be due. Justice will be due eventually.
Yes, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to sound like Twan or busy, but that's all I'm saying.
Quit snitching on the community.
Any final thoughts or last thoughts? That's
all I have on that.
All right. So moving along, I didn't follow this story. But Niecy, she's always on social media. I'm not. But apparently this young lady, African American lady, is in a domestic violence situation. And she was hospitalized, I believe.
She was beat bad.
And ended up going back
to
her boyfriend.
She was beat bad.
Account set up,
yeah, like they set up a
donations.
GoFundMe for her, and to get her to help her with her medical bills, because she was in a hospital for a while. He like damn near killed this girl. Her face was beaten bad.
Even Tina fought back, lady. Like beat his ass and take off. Even whatchamacallit fought back on Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah, but the thing is like what's sad about it is in her post when she talked about how he had. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to read what she posted, because basically her post was just saying how he apologized and how he seems very remorseful and how she loves him. And they're gonna get married. Okay, that's what I wanted to read. Was that there was a girl that run into social media all the time. I asked her if I could use her comment for the show, and she was like, yes. So she was basically sounds like it's normal for women in abusive relationships to go back, because it's hard for them to go, because usually when they go, they end up getting killed. When they leave for real, they usually end up getting killed. And it usually, what she posted was, she said, it takes a woman 7 tries to leave an abusive relationship. When or if she does,
take me once.
The chances of being murdered increases. A black woman is murdered every 6 hours by a black man. And when you're in an abusive relationship, your brain is rewired to crave this type of behavior for survival. It's called trauma bonding. I will never laugh at or judge any woman for actions of a man. She will leave when the time is right or when it's safe for her to do so. In the meantime, all you can do is keep her in her prayers and wish the best for him, because it's a horrible situation all around. Because that is true. Most women in abusive, unless you killing that man, like in the burning bed, like you were mentioning, unless you killing that man, chances are if you don't have a safe leeway to get away, you're liable to be murdered.
But let me tell you this. I experienced with the ex, which I would say one abusive situation, and I never went back.
But that's because you didn't stay in the cycle. Like sometimes in some relationships, Ma, you would probably know, like just from seeing other people back in the day. Not saying from you personally, just like how you can.
We was abusing each other.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying, you know how somebody can be in a relationship with somebody for years and everything good, and then after you already done fall in love and built a life with them, then the abuse starts. That can happen too. It doesn't always happen immediately in the beginning of a relationship where you can just be like, hey, I'm done. It usually happens after a kid or something like that, and you're already tied into
that
them.
it may come later on, but I will say, after I had my daughter, I experienced one situation to where I was taking my ex home. He ended up like punching me in the face, and I came home and I thought remember I told you this. I thought he like threw something at me because it was such a weak punch, and I never like talked to this dude ever again.
I didn't know you got hit.
Yeah, she did tell me that.
You didn't tell me that.
I started to go beat him up, but she didn't feel nothing. She didn't have no bruises.
She was like, what's that?
I was like, okay, her leaving him alone is good enough. Her drive that nigga crazy.
But that's what women
I don't
should
think I
do.
told anybody aside from
Yeah,
mama.
yeah, because you didn't tell me
or
that.
my brothers that either. But and I was just like, what the hell? And then he tried to break my car window. It was like a weird situation. I was taking him home. He was intoxicated. Before he got out the car, he hit me. I thought he threw something at me because it was such a weak touch. You know, I hardly felt anything. He tried to break my window, and then he came back crawling on his knees in the rain. And
oh yeah, with the crutches, had a scratch. Somebody got shot.
So, it was that day, huh?
Yeah, and I was just like,
I forgot about
hey,
that.
bruh, like I'm good. But I would say, I guess before that, it was what you would call like
verbal abuse,
mental abuse,
verbal
abuse, which would be the same thing like, oh, you're dark, like it was a negative thing. But for me, I was like, nigga, please, like I ain't an ugly chick.
Well,
you know what I mean?
He light skinned and got rashes everywhere. So hey, you might as well be dark.
I ain't saying no name, so don't be trying to hit me up on social media talking trash. I ain't saying nobody's name. But anyway, I feel like Tina fought back.
It took her.
I mean, everybody has a breaking point.
It took her a minute.
But
who wants to be somebody that's gonna abuse them? I don't get that.
Well, I think everybody. Some
people
people just want to be loved, but that right
love?
There, like, is telling
not,
you he's capable of killing you for him to beat you that badly.
That's not love.
That's
love
not love.
Is somebody caring for you, being understanding of you, there for you, not punch you in the face or putting you in the hospital. How is that love?
That's not love. Little kids grow up when they like little boys.
Well, little boys used to hit on little girls.
Like little girls,
they threaten to hit them.
Try to hit them.
Mm-hmm. Just like the little boy threatened
so
fans.
They're born with that abusive nature mentality, and
that's true.
But you know what? That kind of ties into the story I wanted to talk about the toys. There's this huge debate. Was anybody want to go on that topic? Okay, there was a huge debate online about. There was a huge debate online about buying little boys' kitchen sets as toys, and then it went from that. Like first, people talking about how it's feminizing them, emasculating them, and all this other shit. I'm like, wait a second, men cook. There are men chefs. What are you talking about?
Look at Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, everybody said Gordon Ramsay, one of the most famous chefs in the world.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about the other night, and then I was like, so y'all just looking for anything. What can these kids do? Let these kids be kids. And then it turned into, there was this advertisement of, you remember them Baby Alive dolls, the ones that can eat, poop, and drink and all that? It was an advertisement of the doll with a little boy, a little black boy holding the doll. And now they're mad at that, saying
but
that.
Look, teach them how to take care of their kids.
Right. I agree. That's exactly what we said. I said, but you know what?
Kids.
You know how they're responding to women that are saying that? I said, having a baby doll literally just teaches you to care for a little person. And they're like, well, they can give them G.I. Joes. Those are dolls too.
That teach
and all
you how to fight.
Like, what?
He in the army suit with a gun.
Your baby will come out being a goddamn G.I. Joe.
Right. But what's crazy about the argument is, it's like, what is it that's bad about it? What is it that's teaching them that's bad? To, feed the baby, to change the baby, basically being a father.
And then, what's crazy is how they have all this talk about the gay agenda when really they're the ones putting all the light.
They're the ones
on
putting it
the
on
gay
the children.
agenda. Like,
They're
people
putting it
aren't-
on the children.
Yeah, people aren't thinking this is gonna make somebody be gay when they get up. Like, no, it's society literally putting that on
The
to these
kids, yeah.
and then get upset if the kid do grow up to be gay. It's because
It's y'all's mind, not these kids.
Yeah,
it's
like
not. It's not the little boy playing with the baby doll or using the kitchen. It's not the problem. It's you.
Yes. Let me be gay. No, it's y'all putting that.
He gonna grow up to cook and
take care of his kids. Exactly. And that's crazy to me that is an argument right now. Y'all wonder why a lot of these boys have trouble handling their emotions and stuff. Y'all trying to macho man everybody. And then, you know what's fucked up about that is that, remember the My Buddy doll? Our brothers had the My Buddy dolls and I had the kids set. I said, Chucky ruined it. Yeah. Chucky was based off of My Buddy. I said, maybe Chucky ruined the dolls for little boys thing, but we had My Buddy. And I had kid sister. I had a kid sister and he had a My Buddy. I'm like, I remember that. And then Chucky came out and ruined that.
I had him an outfit.
They had the same outfit. They were twinning. They were twinning.
With the striped shirt.
And then Chucky came, Child's Play came out. And then everybody was like, you know what? These dolls are scary now.
Shit, I'm scared of Chucky.
Chucky's good. That's the show. Chucky was actually very good.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't see anything wrong with it. It teaches you life skill, and if you think it's wrong for a little boy to know how to care for a baby or to cook in the kitchen, something is wrong with you, not that child. Mm-hmm. That is crazy to me that's even an argument online.
Kind of stuff, maybe they'll grow up to be more respectful.
Exactly, or have compassion for other people. The fact y'all harden these boys so much that they gay if they love somebody, they gay if they like somebody.
Don't like to see the fathers. I'm talking about the fathers, mothers, like the grandmothers don't like to see the
father taking care of the kids.
Yeah,
they're like, my son ain't supposed to be with kids all the time. That type of stuff.
How you babysitting your own kids?
Yeah, I don't like that either. When they say you can't babysit your own kids.
You taking care of
you taking care of your kids.
My daddy is a cook.
Mm-hmm.
He does make some good.
His chili is mom. My dad can cook really good.
And he probably have no kitchen place set, but
and then you know what's funny is the dude's arguments is, well, I can cook and I didn't have a place set, but there's no problem in a little boy having a place set.
What is the difference of you using a real fucking stove and a kid using a toy stove? What is the difference? Are you gay because you know how to cook? And then they'll say, well, I'm a father and I'm a good father and I didn't need a baby doll to raise to be a good father. I'm like, but what is wrong with the little boy knowing how to take care of a baby? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand the argument. Because somebody please tell me how it's wrong. It doesn't make any sense. And then the whole gay agenda, y'all the ones bringing y'all putting that on the kids. When a little boy in the kitchen playing, pretending like he cooking, he ain't thinking about none of that. Watch the damn cook shows. He ain't thinking about none of that. They have kids Gordon shows. He have a kid. The kid chef, master chef, the kid master chef. The kid. He probably like, I want to be like Gordon Ramsay. I want to cook this. You know, he ain't thinking. I want to put on. Or if a little boy is playing with a baby doll, he is not thinking about nothing. None of that. That's just weird to me that y'all minds are going there. Shit, they ain't gonna make them be gay. Like, I know a lot of little kids play doctor, and half of them motherfuckers ain't become a goddamn doctor. Well, like, because somebody said, get them toolkits and say, ain't none of y'all motherfuckers know how to build shit. It's like I said to you, I said, every kid has a toy car. But when they grow up to be adults, they don't have no vehicles. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to really have an impact on them in a negative way. Right. It's just weird, the stuff that they project on the children. It is so weird to me. Society. Let these kids be kids. Society right now y'all is wrong. Sensitive. Yeah, like, it's the adults that's the problem. They say, oh, these kids don't grow up to be this. That's why I do what I want. I don't care what nobody think or say. Mm-hmm. Because only God can judge me. All right, Pac, yeah. All right, Pac. What'd he say? Too judgmental. That drives me insane. That drives me insane. You can't even sneeze these days of people saying something. Yeah, that's true. Like, Jesus Christ. I know I'm about to tell these people to stay 6 feet away from me with no mask on. Yeah. Shit. And that's another thing, too. Like, I've been experiencing a lot of people testing at my job, testing positive for COVID, but they just, like, either got the vaccine or got the booster vaccine. I'm like, usually with vaccines, they inject you with a little bit of the virus that your body's going to be fighting against. So maybe that's the reason why things are showing up positive. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like people aren't thinking.
Yeah, they're not.
You know, it's driving me insane.
But you've been thinking a lot.
They all they do is think about what way can they get mad and talk stuff to somebody.
Yes, like it's been crazy. Let's not get into work, but yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I feel
so,
you. I feel you.
Moving along. Why was I dancing?
Because you feel good.
Should we go into the verse battle?
Oh, let's do it.
All right. So what was it? Wednesday night?
Wasn't it Friday?
Today's Saturday. It wasn't yesterday.
No, it's Thursday. It was or Wednesday. I don't know shit.
Well, anyway,
whatever day it was.
Boneless Harmony had their verses with 3 6 Mafia after probably 5 months because it was 2 months ago.
They kept pushing it back.
Delayed, and I see why.
I don't think it was a good mashup.
I see why. But yes, me and you talked about that. We said that Bone should have battled like Do or Die
or something like that.
Because Bone is like.
They're different. They're a harmony, fast rap group. Like 3 6 Mafia are the crunks. Like 3 6 Mafia should have went against Lil Jon in that. Like I don't think that was a good match.
Or the Migos, like somebody.
Or somebody do that kind of trap music.
Yeah.
Like Bone don't do trap music.
Bone is like the set, like with the
they're
70s
harmony,
R&B and rap. You know,
they really good.
Yeah, they're harmony. That's they're called Bones Thugs and Harmony for a reason.
Exactly. Like no, I don't think that was a good match.
No, I don't think it was a good match, but it was a hell of a show.
And 3 6 Mafia, they had all the little tricks, bringing out Terrence Howard for the song that was on.
They brought out Lil Wayne.
What was that song?
Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
The movie.
Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. Terrence Howard, and that was
Hard Out
so
There
cheesy.
for a Trip.
Yeah, Hard Out There for a Pimp. He came out there and rapped that.
And I said in the comments on Instagram, I was like, didn't Empire have the finale already? Like,
because he was dressed, he looked like Lucius. He looked like Lucius. He looked just like Lucius.
And they bring out.
You don't want nobody to go against Bone.
No, you know how we are about Bone. Those are our dudes.
And they had
we don't play about
the
Bone.
The stripper was a hot ghetto man.
Yeah, it was. I swear.
I don't like.
Well, when it came to I like 3 6 Mafia, but I don't think
I don't like them anymore. Like I like the fit that stuff, but now I was like,
well, after that night was kind of, but it ended all in love. So you know,
like I said on my post, I said it was fist fights, arguments, and a kumbaya moment. Bone had Lil Jon come out because Crazy Moon got a song with him, and then it was also
Lil Easy.
What was his name?
Chameleonaire came out and did the Riding Dirty.
And then Lil Easy.
Lil Easy
Eric Ray
did,
Jr., which he's really cool.
He is cool. I like him.
And
I like him.
Did what the hell is this goddamn song? When Easy was
For the Love of Money.
Yes, For the Love of Money. But I want to show what happened. So let's go ahead and hit scene 2 for me, Elijah.
Before we even get started, you ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me while I'm on motherfucking stage. Boo! Suck me! What the hater? That what you... Busy about a hater. Dude. Why y'all do this? Huh? I didn't know they were losing. Hey, Busy Ball gonna ruin y'all career. Y'all better without him. He ain't take his pills. Boom, Busy Ball, y'all. Oh. That's what.
Alright, so that's the clips that. Okay, so Bone was performing, and of course, that was 3 6 Mafia and Gangsta Boo was hating on Busy, mocking him. And he told them straight up, like, y'all ain't gonna be mocking me on y'all ugly motherfuckers.
Not his face.
On stage, you're gonna be mocking me, but y'all see where he was wrong at in that aspect. And then he threw a bottle at Juicy J and the girl Gangsta Boo, and then they charged them. There was a little scuffle, yeah. But they had the caution tape separating them anyway.
You knew they had some hostility. But Busy was going off like before everything, so it was already it was already a little tension because Busy had said a lot before the show.
On social media, and he was
He was going
So
on.
the whole week he was posting little video clips making fun of like Bone getting that 3-6 Mafia. Somebody that he gonna have him denounce the devil, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because he said they 3 6s. They the 3. He's very religious, and he's like, y'all need to denounce the devil. Like he said, y'all know I'm very serious about God. I don't play about them 3 6s.
And then even on his song Thugs Cry, he's tell you right the intro, don't let this light skin fool y'all, fuck you up. So don't be coming at my guy. Like no.
Yeah, Busy's my guy. Y'all need to leave him alone.
He was wrong.
I don't think
he
he was
to defend himself. He did end up apologizing. He came back out. He took a little cool down moment. He came back out, apologized. Everybody shook hands. And
everybody hugged
all over him. Like
everybody hugged. It was all love after that. This is my take. I swear, I said, and I told you this. I said it was. They basically had hugs, fights, strippers, blunts, alcohol. It was like BET Uncut. It reminded me of watching BET Uncut when we were young. When we used to have BET Uncut.
It was really ratchet. Even Swiss was in the comments talking about, like just making fun of everything. He was like, it's a rule. Not that people should be on stage. But I knew it was going to be some drama. I've been following him on social media, and I just had a feeling it wasn't going to go.
I could tell there was some tension. I was like,
and then Juicy J, how you go fight in a church suit? You got on this red fucking church suit and pearls trying to throw hands at somebody. Boy, go on.
But I will say this as far as because a lot of people are saying, 3-6 Mafia won the battle. I don't feel like 3-6 Mafia won the battle. I felt like they had a lot of groups. They were very hyped on the stage because they kept bringing so many celebrities out. But I think Bone had the better song.
And then you know what? Yes. For Bone Thugs and Harmony, they could stand
on their own. They didn't need to. They only brought out a couple people. Yeah, they only brought out a couple people.
To be honest, they have songs with legends who have passed away.
And they performed them too. And Busy he did his verse on the song with Tupac, Thug Love.
Everybody was like, he got
that was the best verse. He said, like Lacey's like, you better come over. And Busy was like, okay, here I go.
Yeah, because they really have hits. They have hits. Could stand on their own. They can't. They don't need extra tricks and people coming out.
The only gripe I had with Bone that night is they did not play First of the Month. There was a couple songs that I was sad that they did not play. But I felt like what it is probably after the fight there was a lot going on. I was like, but Bone could smash 3-6 Mafia, like hit for hit. Bone got 3-6 Mafia, really. Mm-hmm. It was just, they had a hell of a show, 3-6 Mafia. They brought out a lot of celebrities, but I feel like Bone still has the better songs. That's why I said it's not a good matchup, because they're not even on the same level. They're not on the same level.
And again, Bone worked with legends that's no longer living.
Yeah. And that's why the climax of the whole verses was them performing Crossroads and showing all of the rappers that had died in the back. That's how it ended. They all had that was the Kumbaya moment. They were all like hugging each other and singing the Crossroads. And it was all of the rappers that had died recently and back in the day going in the screen on the back.
And I do really appreciate that they had little E.T. come out.
I thought that was so cool. I was like, and he looked just like his dad.
He's a really cool guy.
And he is a cool guy.
He is a cool guy. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he really is.
I've seen him on a few things, and he does seem to be such a nice person.
Yeah, he is. But I've been following social media about it, and I've been posting all the things that I have reposted a lot of things that Busy had posted. So I've been down with them since I was like,
y'all have to understand.
I was like 10 years old.
I introduced her to Bone. We've been following Bone ever since we were very, very young. We are very loyal to Bone. We met them. We go to all of their concerts. Every time they come into town, we go to their concerts.
I will never forget, I was in high school. My mom pulled me out of school. She's like, Busy at Leola's. I'm going to take you to, go to Leola's. And then I can't find my picture, but I have a picture with Busy, and it's a horrible picture of me, but a lovely picture of him.
It is a nice
picture. Because I didn't pose, I look cross-eyed, I'm not doing anything, my mom was just aiming at Busy.
I said Busy, and when you should have stayed ready. Because I said Busy.
And every time she said it, picture.
She got good pictures of him looking directly at the camera.
I got some pictures of him by himself, and every time she said, Mom was like, Busy, he looked,
and I snapped.
But I've always been a Bone fan, and Everybody knows
I have
it.
to.
And it's so fun 'cause, like, all my Facebook friends or Instagram friends, anytime something's going on with Bone, they hit me up like, hey, this is going on with Bone. I know you love them. They're like, yeah, number one fan.
I introduced her to Bone. I've been
You
in
number
love with
two.
Bone ever since. No, I'm number one, Heifer. I've been in love with Bone ever since I was very, very young. I
Busy is
introduced
my
her to
man.
Bone.
I'm gonna stand behind him.
We
okay?
gonna stick beside Busy because Busy, and you know what's funny is I think the reason why they were mocking him because they know they can't beat him in the rap game.
Right,
Busy is a
right.
better rapper than all members
Because
of
they
36
rap
Mafia.
fast
Seriously.
and they say every word. They don't skip a
They don't
word.
skip a beat, and everybody loves Busy. That's why they was like he had to be there.
Thugs and Harmony, period.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, just people love Busy. So, and then y'all know Busy has been through a lot from his childhood traumas and stuff, you know. So to just brush him off and call him crazy, being abducted, like he's been through a lot. So to just brush him off and call him crazy, I think is
That
completely,
really pisses me off.
yeah,
He
that
gets
bothers
mad,
me.
bitch. You gonna take your mess with your ugly ass. Sorry, but that's
She was doing
That
a
really
lot,
made me
but I'm
upset.
glad she was doing a lot. But I'm glad that they ended up, you know, squashing
Well, she
it.
was
And
on YouTube. I didn't even watch what she had to say.
yeah, I'm glad they squashed it
fix
though.
her braids.
That was funny when he said, "I
Had
can
a
fix your
weird
braids
dog
for
when she
you."
went on YouTube. She didn't have no braids.
What was so much? I was like, I am tired. The show's an hour late.
Yeah, like I was expecting it to be over.
Staying up to watch it.
It helped me get through the ending of my shift. I tell you that because I was like, "Dang man, I thought this was gonna be done and over before I got off work. It's not even getting started until I get off work practically."
All right. So I think you want to talk about this tweet. Okay, so there's this
Oh, yeah, I
tweet,
do.
and it says, you think you'll have friends once you clock 42. You'll soon understand why it's called a life partner. Because you'll die surrounded
Read
by...
what he was commenting
Okay,
on.
so you'll die surrounded by no one. You even been lucky if they find your decomposing carcass in the time, LOL. Okay, so I guess this was the tweet before that he was...
The tweet he was replying
I didn't
to.
follow this story. Okay, so what I just read was a response to this. Women be having degrees, good jobs, nice place to live, and no man left my ass off. Okay.
No, the bottom part. No need to be sorry. Well, it was a woman who said, "No need to be sorry, laugh my ass off. Our mothers take and took trash from men. I refuse to do such. I'd rather die surrounded by friends than take shit from a man because I want to marry." And so he said, "You think you're gonna have friends?" Like basically mocking her. Like yeah, like and yeah, he went into that little tangent, and then the whole women be having degrees, good jobs, and a nice place to live, and no man. Yeah, I sent her two different things.
And I don't follow the story, so
But so seems to be a common thing. I was just on a thread that was basically doing the same thing. It was like 1,000 comments on the thread of men basically just telling women, particularly black women, that they're gonna die alone and no one wants them. And they're all saying, "Well, we don't want anybody. We're happy single. You know, we're enjoying our lives." And they're like mad at them for being happy being alone. It's weird to me that energy. Like, why did he get hostile and tell her that her carcass wasn't going to be found? And I'm like, and then this whole thread of dying alone. Stop telling women that they're going to die alone. We all die alone. Nobody dies hand in hand with somebody. Stop saying that to women. It sounds ridiculous because we all die alone. That's one.
Unless it's all of y'all dying together.
Yeah, like it's a natural disaster or something like that.
Though, too, is you can have friends,
yes,
family. It doesn't have to be a
spouse.
Man.
It doesn't and that goes for men and women. It doesn't have to be a spouse.
I say a man because it's more so women being shamed.
It is.
Versus a man
trying to be guilted.
Shamed for being single.
Trying to be guilted into accept, and that's even more reason. Like, do you get saying to a woman, "Oh, you're gonna have to get a cat or a dog, and you're gonna die alone"? Do you realize it?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm like, don't you realize that makes them even more happy? Like, you know what? I'd much rather that than deal with somebody like you. And it's true. It's like y'all basically are cutting your cock blocking yourselves, because that is such a turn off to be saying to women when you're upset that they're like, "Oh, I'm okay with not having a man," or "Something's wrong with you," or "You're gonna die alone." Like, that's weird as fuck to me. Mm-hmm. That's weird as fuck to me that guys are doing that, and I really think it needs to stop. Please stop doing that, because y'all saying that is not a threat. Mm-hmm. Like, there was also a post saying the guys are scrambling because they're the telling women that they're going to die alone is not a flex anymore, and it doesn't work. Women don't care. And men were in those comments saying, yes, y'all do, basically telling women how they feel.
What's crazy about that is a lot of guys are saying women are going to die alone, but then they have an issue with them dating outside their race, which stems from the black men not liking black women. So it's like we just can't win. If you don't like us and we date outside of our race, you have an issue. If we're not dating at all, you have an issue about it and saying we're going to die alone.
If we don't have kids by a certain age, you think something's wrong with us. If we do have kids, you think we did something wrong. So it's always
moms,
something.
You know what?
Kids
at a young
it's
age.
so funny that you mentioned that, because the post that I was on where a black girl had retweeted post that a white woman had tweeted saying the boys are scrambling because, you know, women don't care about y'all threatening us, saying we're going to die alone. And in the comments, he was basically saying, and he was wrong about everything, but he was sticking to it, saying, that's most black women, 70% of black women will never get married because don't nobody want y'all. And all this other stuff. And the women are like, so the black girls in the comments were like, tore him a new asshole, basically, and then give him statistics that he tried to say 70% of black women have children out of wedlock. When the statistic is that 70% of women that have children had children out of wedlock. Not that majority of black. He didn't understand the stat. And he kept spewing it, and they kept trying to correct him, and he just would not stop. And then it went from black women being undesirable to saying, oh, I like black women, but I'm just telling y'all, nobody else wants y'all. That's another thing that I don't get. Why do dudes do that? Why are black dudes in particular going out of their way to try to tell black women that other races of men don't want them?
Because they feel less themselves. That's why
that's
they want
weird
to project their insecurities on somebody else.
And there was a white guy that even noticed this, that spoke out. He's with the black woman. He's like, that's not true. I have a lot of white male friends that are interested in dating black women. They think that black women wouldn't be interested in them, so sometimes they're scared to approach. Mm-hmm. But that's not true, that other races of men don't like black women. If that was the case, when black women decided to open their options, they wouldn't be finding husbands in other races of men.
Complain about that. Why you dating outside your race? Why you dating? No, you what they be calling them a bed
wenches. But if you want to go off of statistics of us being least desired, you should also go off the statistic that when black women do decide to open up their options, they're more than likely to find a husband. Because that's also a statistic.
And I don't think we're the least desired, to be honest.
I don't believe that either, but I don't like that that's used as a shaming tactic.
If you look, you know what it is a lot of black men can't handle us. Because we're independent, we're intelligent, we speak our mind.
I wouldn't say handle, I would say
they're intimidated by it.
I feel like they're in competition with us instead of looking at us as their counterparts. A lot of
other ethnicity of women, they'll take the abuse, they'll take being talked down to, and like we won't. And I feel like guys,
a lot of us do, unfortunately.
But I feel like a lot of black women won't go for that shit.
I feel like a lot of us
won't. And that's probably why we get murdered. Yeah. And that's also why the guys say we're not desired, which we are.
Or that we're combative and aggressive and all of that.
So I feel like they're intimidated. Don't project your insecurities onto us because you can't handle this. Yeah. Like that's
because you can't handle a woman with a voice, basically. Yeah. This is not the 1950s. Yeah, this is not the 1950s. And then that's become since we're not timid, now we're masculine and we're not feminine.
I'm feminine and
look
and
at my muscles. Call me
masculine over here. I'm a lady, but I'm not timid. So,
right.
And what?
Right.
I ain't even got no muscles, but call me masculine. I don't even care. I'm more manly than they are. Shit, I don't care.
Remember what Dad said? He said, talking about the mechanic, when it comes to searching for a mechanic, she's like, we thought it would be better. Or was it? I thought it was a mechanic. Well, anyways, how he said, she's like, we think it would be better if you talk to a man. He said, he talking to a man, talking to your mama.
That guy, Bob. That's because if you think about it, back in slavery, not to mention that though, but I'm going to. Our men was taken from us. They were either being raped, killed. We had to fend for ourselves. That's where it stemmed from. It doesn't mean that we're not willing to have a soulmate, but we can live without having one.
Yeah.
You know
okay. That's what I keep trying to explain. I'm like, it's not a need. It could be a want, but it's not a need because I will be perfectly fine and survive on my own. I
It's
don't
like we're
need
supposed to do,
somebody.
go in a corner and cry.
Exactly.
No,
Like, I don't
we
understand
There
it.
and do what we gotta do to survive.
Right. That's a pretty ring. Where you get that? I'm sitting up here looking at it like,
Somewhere.
give me, let me have it.
Somewhere. Was that all of our topics?
I think pretty much. But yeah, that's a trip for me, and I'm just saying, hey, y'all, find your happiness wherever. Stop listening to these internet gangsters that are projecting their feelings onto you, because it's getting tiring to see, but it's entertaining to watch.
I don't do none of that hot ghetto mess.
It's like, I want to study this stuff. I would really like to write a book about the psychology of people on social media. I would love to.
They know they should.
I really want to write a book about it.
I feel like social media did society more harm than it did good.
Because people were able to say their true feelings without filter.
And not only that, it's people are saying their true feelings without having a filter. But look what it's so damaging.
It is very damaging. Very damaging.
And it irritates my soul.
It's very damaging. It irritates my. That's why I watch it, because it's like, this is why, suicide rates in young teens have gone up, because they're bullied on social media. They see this stuff online. All of this has been detrimental to children. It's been detrimental to adults as well. It brings out the worst in people. Where is the love?
All right, there.
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas, yeah. Because like even me being an adult, I have to take like months, like a few months of a break from social media. Like I was saying to you earlier, like even one of my childhood friends, I noticed when I did get on Facebook today, I was like, oh, she sent me a friend request. We was already friends, and it was like 2 weeks ago she sent me a friend request. I was like, what? So I would scroll through her page, and it's her page she always has. So it's not like she created a new page. I was like, so she literally deleted me for what reason? You know what I mean? Little things like
I wouldn't be their friend again.
I don't be pop, and I didn't accept it. That's why I said to you. I said, remember, I said, I'm deleting it. I'm not gonna accept it.
Don't.
But Chelsea, what? I ain't got much going on.
Just what you want to say to Jasmine, I ain't that fine.
I ain't got much going. I ain't got much going on. Like,
you living your best life. What you talking about?
Work and be a mom. Ain't like I'm out here,
living your best life.
Beyonce backstage.
We living it up.
We go on vacations.
I'm not a Beyonce backup dancer. You know what I mean?
You ain't gotta be all of that. Look at you, got your glasses on, and look at your little outfit. Someone said, "What is there to be jealous today?"
There's nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So I derailed. Anything else you like on?
No.
I'd like to give a shout out to my nephew Howard Carl Murphy. His birthday was December 2nd.
Oh, happy birthday, guys.
Thank you for joining Cocktail with Tina and J. See you all next week.